NFL 23, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills on EA Sports.
On a gorgeous late summer afternoon, it's time for football from Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills. Everybody, alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. As Seattle's offense comes onto the field, we'll see a 10-year veteran under center. Guy who broke into the league as a starter back in 2013, Geno Smith.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. They'll get this to the 24, and it's second down. 8 yards to go on second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Now Geno steps away. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Smith. Flushed out right to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Geno. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 45-yard line. Throwing is Smith. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He's going to get this complete here to lock it. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 21. A gain there of 21 yards.
And after the Russell Wilson trade, you have to ask, will Tyler Lockett be able to extend his streak of 1,000-yard seasons to 4 without the only quarterback he's ever played with in the NFL? But the way he plays, a very steady presence that catches everything in sight, I think he's got a good chance of extending that streak and becoming best friends with his new quarterback along the way. He certainly looked like it on that first down catch.
Play action. It's Smith. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
They're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Tyler Matakevich in there to drop him. It sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Now make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively. And not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Bills are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Singletary to get the drive started. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Singletary again. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Devin Singletary's in his 4th year in Buffalo, and he's coming off career best in carries and yards, and he's hoping that 2022 is the year that Buffalo runs it to his first 1,000-yard season.
On the handoff, running left, Singletary. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. To the air, Allen. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and his early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Now Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They're going to run for it. It's Moss. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. It's a gain of 4 that time, and it'll be a Buffalo 1st down. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it. It worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter's telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow. Might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Running room at the 50. Look out. The 20. 10. And he finally runs out of gas, but not before he's inside the 10-yard line.
Similar to golf, you never want to count a score before it actually happens, but you have to figure. They thought they were going to get 6 on that play. Great effort to keep them out of the end zone, but a big-time return.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. The big kick return nearly resulted in 6. Now they'll try to finish the job here. 1st and goal. Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. Now this is picked up by the Bills.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him. and tell everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here, because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play, attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Singletary trying the left side. He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football, because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 51 yards. As his guys are able to extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs. Fields it right around the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Catch is made by Metcalf. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burko?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Geno now to throw. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. On the counter, this is Singletary. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. On 2nd and inches, Allen. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Allen. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
I think this is going to ride very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10.
Here we go. Check it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Smith. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Heavy on the toss right. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Buffalo set to get the football back here. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 42 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Play action. Now it's Allen. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 15 more yards there and quickly another first down.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Allen now looks to throw. And he'll get this underneath to Singletary. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 44, Allen. Throwing the out route, and Crowder makes the catch. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now we've got a third down and 3. Again, they'll throw with Allen. They'll get this to Devin Singletary out of the backfield. Down inside the 10. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Devin Singletary, 40 yards. And his guys now taking a 3-score lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On the draw, this is Penny. There's a nice move. $17-0 our score after 1. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Smith. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Gregory Rousseau, his 2nd sack of the night. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
He's got him in, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 37 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Smith now to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To throw is Smith, out to his left. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Geno Smith punching it in from a yard away. And the Seahawks get a bit closer.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And it's 17-7. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there.
He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. And they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Allen going to throw. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into it because they were there to help break that pass up.
Allen going to keep it again. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Come on.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Geno. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Smith. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Ready?
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing again is Smith. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, a 22.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Smith. His pass caught at the 4. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like you did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
How many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket?
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are back within a score. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Now Myers for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. That time a 6-play drive. And it's finished off by a Rashad Penny touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taken from about the 12. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now out come the Bills. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Throwing on 1st down is Allen. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Allen to throw it. This one caught by Crowder. Short completion, just 4 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Allen. They'll run the screen with Moss. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. They'll look to set up his blockers. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. A little bit of flip the script. Quarter 1, they struggled. Quarter 2 here, they put things together. And I guess sometimes, Charles, you just come out and you have to get your feet underneath you in a ball game, right?
That's exactly right, because every now and then you don't come out of the gate as fast and as strong as you want to. Sometimes you have to ramp up into it or take a few hits along the way and figure it out. And that's what they've done so far. Slow start, but now they're starting to put it together.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So they'll run it again with Penny. Uses the stiff arm. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 47 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Smith's throw into the hands of Fan. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Smith. This complete to Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 3rd and short.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the talents going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
And for the 3rd time here this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now. And Charles, you have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. On 1st down, they'll start out with Singletary. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. On play action, Allen. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 46-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. To throw, it's Allen. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
Singletary here running out of the gun, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack, because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Allen now on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Flying in to pick up that sack, Jordan Brooks.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Allen's throw going to be caught by Davis. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Allen on third. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for it, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. He's able to set up his offense pretty with a first and goal.
Allen. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. Another try after the first down sack. Allen over the middle, complete. That's Davis. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Here's Allen. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Geno able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up fourth down.
On 24-yard attempt.
The kick by Bass is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on fourth and goal anyway, but the sack on third down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 9 seconds to play. Likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is caught on the sideline. And he gets out of bounds as well. How about that? So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And that's going to be caught downfield by Fant. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Seahawks in that first half. And they've definitely been able to exploit some holes in that opposing secondary, as they threw for close to 200 yards in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Bills, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach. Thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
From the 29, Allen, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Now Allen. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Rolling to his left. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. To throw again on second down. Allen. And his throw is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Allen now looks to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down.
No surprise they decided to throw on third down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. He'll find Metcalf. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A gain there of 21 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Man open downfield, it's Metcalf. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 34. Play action. It's Smith. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 64 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To the air, Allen. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing now is Allen.
And that is caught. It's Davis. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Recall his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Allen again. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Allen, quick slant to Crowder. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards him.
Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the 2nd half.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Smith over the middle. That's caught by Metcalf. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A big pickup of 38.
The dynamic duo is doing damage in this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout. And they hook up again for another big play.
Bring it! We gotta be big time now.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Geno. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Let's go!
From the red zone now, Smith. Nowhere to go here. He gets the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. That one covers 29 yards, first down. On play action, Allen. His throw incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. First target, first catch, and a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Operating from the red zone now, Allen. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground, because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Second and 2, first down marker at the 8. On the give, this is Singletary. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal. They'll run here with Moss. And he gets him a little bit closer. Takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. Now Allen. And it's caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal. Singletary. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Fourth down now after a loss of 2. Tyler Bass out for the Bills field goal. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. Some complimentary football there. One side, your defense forces the fumble, and then they drive it down the field. Now, obviously, Charles, they wanted the touchdown, but at least they were able to drive it down and get free out of that.
Yeah, now we'll have to see how the other sideline responds, because they had plenty of time during that field goal to think about that fumble and how they were going to react. What are they going to do when they get the ball back and try and make things a little bit better for their team?
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hand.
And now here's another interception. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
So after the INT, it's Allen.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Not too many more ideal situations. It's 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
On first down, they stick with Singletary. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Singletary again. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. A give up the middle to Singletary. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play in the drive. To throw, it's Allen. On the move to his left. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Allen going to try and keep it. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Singletary. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills will hang on to their lead. So that maybe not a knockout, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to sort one away into 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now a man open down the middle of the field. 20! And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Marquise Goodwin. 70 yards. And the Seahawks have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now. They're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just one score. Extra point up and through by Myers. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. McKenzie will not return this, and will be brought out to the 25. Let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out. He's toppled the century mark already, receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up second down.
It's now second and 6 at the 43-yard line.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. That's complete as he goes right back to Crowder. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself, because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Again, they'll throw with Allen. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. A turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Second down and 10.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Allen flush to his... Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we could make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback, because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10.
They're on the 45-yard line.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Come on.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 45. Geno down to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Great Gregory Rousseau make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try.
Tyler Lockett. Touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 66 yards.
And the Seahawks use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th.
So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead, and I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is now 2.
Jason Myers, the kickoff for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25.
And here come the Bills.
But the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Allen. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, to watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it.
Getting the football to Davis on an out route.
Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 41-yard line.
Allen now looks to throw. It's complete. He dials up Davis once more. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 101 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
On 1st down, Allen. Man open, here is Crowder.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On the handoff, it's Singletary. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6.
Now Allen. And they're going to get him. He's sagged back around the 28. Geno bringing the pressure yet again. That's his third sack here tonight. From here, it would be a 45-yard field goal attempt, certainly in range, but they'll look for more yardage on third down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This for a fourth-quarter lead. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. What a huge play. We could have been watching the go-ahead point sail through the uprights. Instead, special teams coming through with a huge block.
And I think we just throw strategy out the window here. Forget all that. We just saw the biggest moment of the game, and that could have been the most decisive play at that moment.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. How many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down. Now it's Smith. And that's going to be caught downfield by Fant. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, we're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge is successful. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Penny running right. He finds some open field here. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his second touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown, because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes this a 9-point game.
Bills 26. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll give it to Singletary here to start the drive. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Allen. Forced out to his left. And his throw here's incomplete.
He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one goes for 36 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. There's Stephon Diggs for the catch on the slant. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Allen now on 1st down. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit. We decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
14 yards that time for number 14. And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Moss will take this over the line. Touchdown, Buffalo. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. But by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. And the lead is down to 2. So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And out now come the Seahawks. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each inning in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with a football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? They've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack, or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this?
There he goes, right side. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, 75 yards. And the Seahawks use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. And 1 play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, 1 play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
The extra point now coming from Myers.
And that makes it a 9-point game. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
On play action, Allen. They'll roll him out right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Partner, everything that happened before that fumble was great. Good vision, navigated the open field, got good chunk yardage. At that point, if you see a defender coming, though, just step out of bounds. Don't risk all you picked up before the hit to just try and get an extra yard or two.
Ready.
Penny, a first down carry. A solid stiff arm. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They keep it with Penny on first down. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Penny. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Leaves it for Penny. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Smith, he'll buy some time right.
He'll get that complete to Parkinson.
All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion. It makes it 1st and goal.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Now Smith. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Will
nicely from 3 yards out. And the Seahawks have extended their lead to 15 now here in the fourth. A 15-point game now. You make the extra point, and that means on the other side you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. That's a pretty tall order here in the fourth quarter.
Agreed, because they really needed to come up with a stop there, and even if it was just to hold them to a field goal. Now they need to pull off a lucky horseshoe because they've got to get an onside kick, and we've seen nowadays those are incredibly difficult to come by.
And not to mention they got to get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion first. Now Myers for the extra point. And that will make this a 16-point lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. Allen and the Bills now down by 16. 2:01 remaining. They'll have one play here just north of the 2-minute warning. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is converted.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Throwing is Allen. And that's complete to Davis. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down now, but that clock rolling. Allen. That's taken in by Knox. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. Here's Allen. This one caught by Crowder. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 27 yards there, a first down. Now Allen finding Knox there, complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Allen. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up second down. No, third down. Throwing is Allen on third. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up fourth. One final try here for Allen. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just get a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the the toe to the leather on that one. Their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pick up there on 20 yards. Smith going to throw it. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now it's Smith. His throw caught right around the 6. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming from the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And the Bills are going to recover. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdote.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Okay, break.
Throwing now, Smith. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, partner, under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.